Someone is lying to you right now, and the terrifying part is, you already know it. You just don't know how you know. That feeling, that quiet unease in your chest when someone says I'm fine, but something in their eyes tells a completely different story. You've felt it, you've ignored it. And later, when the truth came out, you sat there thinking, asterisk, I knew. I felt it. Why didn't I trust myself? Asterisk, this is exactly what we're going to fix today. Because reading people isn't a superpower. It's not something reserved for detectives or therapists or people who've read 100 books on body language. It's a skill, a learnable, practicable, deeply human skill, and you've already started developing it without even realizing it. You just need to know what to look for. Let's start with something most people get completely wrong. When we try to read someone, we fixate on what they're saying, the words, the explanation, the story they're giving us. But here's the thing. Words are the most controllable part of human communication. Anyone can choose their words. Anyone can rehearse a sentence. Anyone can smile and say the right thing at the right time. What people cannot control is everything else. The microsecond hesitation before answering a question that should have been simple. The way someone's body shifts slightly away from you, mid-conversation, even while they're nodding in agreement. The smile that reaches the mouth but never quite makes it to the eyes. Your brain picks up on all of this subconsciously before you've even processed a single word. The problem is, most of us were taught to override that signal. We were told to be polite, to give people the benefit of the doubt, to not judge too quickly. And while those things have their place, they also trained us to dismiss the most accurate data we have about another person, our own instinctive read dot. So let's talk about what's actually happening beneath the surface. Every human being, no matter how guarded, is constantly leaking information. Psychologists call this nonverbal leakage, the unconscious signals the body sends out that the conscious mind never approve. And the fascinating thing is, these signals don't lie. They're not strategic. They're not calculated. They're just the truth, slipping out through the cracks. Here's how to start catching them. Asterisk, asterisk, watch what happens in the first 3 seconds. Asterisk, asterisk. When someone sees you or hears something you've said, there's a flash of unfiltered response before the social mask slides back into place. A split-second expression, a micro-movement, a flicker of something real. Dat flash? Das gold. You're not looking for dramatic reactions. You're looking for subtle incongruence, moments where the expression doesn't match what they're about to say. The slight tension in the jaw before the easy laugh. The almost imperceptible eye pull to the side. When they tell you they're happy for you, train yourself to notice the first 3 seconds. They're more honest than the next 3 minutes. Now here's something that might make you slightly uncomfortable. The people who are hardest to read aren't the liars. They're the ones who've learned to hide pain so well, they've started hiding it from themselves. You've met someone like this. Maybe someone close to you. They're always okay, always calm, always the one holding everyone else together. But there's something you can't quite name that tells you the okayness is a performance, a very well-rehearsed one. The signal to look for here isn't deception, it's flatness. When someone has been carrying something heavy for a long time, their emotional range starts to compress. The highs don't get very high. The lows are carefully managed. Conversations stay surface level, not because they're shallow, but because they're protecting something underneath. If you're picking up on this with someone, you care about the right move isn't to confront them. It's to create safety. Say, present a little longer than usual. Ask a second question. The person who says I'm fine might just need to feel like you actually want to know before they tell you the truth. That's not analysis. That's humanity. Let's go deeper. There's a concept in psychology called baseline behavior, and it's one of the most powerful tools you can develop. Before you can know when someone is acting differently, you need to know how they normally act. This sounds obvious. It rarely gets applied. Most people walk into every conversation cold. No reference point, no comparison. But skilled readers of people are always quietly building a baseline. They notice, how does this person normally hold their body? How fast do they usually speak? How do they usually make eye contact? Here's the truth bomb that changes everything. Asterisk, asterisk. There is no universal sign of lying. There is only deviation from normal. Asterisk, asterisk. Someone who always avoids eye contact isn't being deceptive when they avoid eye contact with you. Someone who fidgets constantly isn't nervous because they're hiding something, they just fidget. The person who suddenly goes very still when you ask a certain question, when they're usually expressive and animated, that stillness is the signal. Deviation from baseline, that's what you're watching for. Once you understand this, you stop making the mistake of reading everyone through the same lens. You start reading people as individuals, and you become exponentially harder to fool. Here's something no one tells you. The most revealing moment in any conversation isn't when someone is answering you. It's the moment just before. That micro pause, that small breath, the way the eyes move, whether up and to the left, accessing memory or slightly downward. Accessing emotion, these movements happen in the gap between your question and their response. Most people rush past this moment. They're already thinking about what to say next. Slow down. Watch the gap. And learn to be comfortable with silence. Because silence is pressure, gentle, natural pressure, and people will fill it. Often with the most honest thing they've said, all conversation. Now the twist. Because there always is one. You've probably been thinking about how to read other people throughout this entire video. But here's what that might be telling you about yourself. The people who are most drawn to understanding others are often the people who learned very early that the ability to read a room, to sense a shift in mood, to anticipate someone's reaction was a matter of emotional survival. If that lands for you, sit with it for a moment, because the skill you've been quietly developing your whole life, often out of necessity, is actually extraordinary. The hyper-awareness, the ability to sense tension before it surfaces. The way you can walk into a room and within seconds know who's off today, who's pretending, who needs something they haven't asked for. That's not anxiety. That's attunement, and it's one of the rarest and most valuable forms of intelligence a person can have. The difference between it being a burden and being a strength is knowing when to use it and how to protect yourself in the process. So, here's what you take with you. Watch the first 3 seconds. Build a baseline. Look for deviation, not confirmation of what you already suspect. Notice the gaps between questions and answers. Pay attention to what doesn't move when everything else does. And most importantly, trust the feeling you always dismiss. That quiet knowing that something is off. That subtle discomfort that has no name. Your nervous system has been tracking human behavior your entire life. It's processed thousands of faces, thousands of tones of voice, thousands of moments where words and truth didn't quite align. It knows more than you give it credit for. The goal isn't to become suspicious of everyone. It's to become clear, to stop second-guessing what you're already sensing, and to engage with people from a place of genuine understanding rather than confusion or self-doubt. The world looks completely different when you know how to read it. If this felt like something you've always known but never had the words for. Comment, ***, I understand.